In this module, you will learn how to set up Arnold shaders, add lights and cameras, and finally setting up the render. We will render the shot from 3 different camera angles here. This course is not about lighting and rendering in Maya. It will take hours and hours to cover that subject, so I won't go into details about it. If you want more info about lighting and rendering, there are amazing courses at Pearl's site. Here, however, I will offer you a step-by-step guide to quickly obtain great looking results with Arnold. This means to be easy and efficient, and for those who are new to Maya, I want to prove you that you can achieve great looking images without deeply knowing the software. In the first clip, we will set up the shader. Welcome back in Maya. In the previous module, we modeled the scene and animated it using Mesh. Now, let's try to obtain great images from that shot. We are going to use Arnold Render Engine for this shot. It may not be loaded automatically on your Maya, so to make sure you have it, let's go to the Windows menu, Setting Preferences, then Plugin Manager. Then you want to find this M2A.bundle and then check on the loaded and the auto-loaded. As soon as you do that, if it wasn't already checked, this menu up there should appear. And now you can click on close and you are good to go. If you didn't complete the previous modules and you want to follow along, please open the file m3_06.mb in the scenes directory. Alright, so if you remember, at the end of the first module, we created an environment light to make sure everything was rendering fine, and this light is here in your outliner. It's also the big sphere around. In the case you don't have it, go to the Arnold menu, then Lights, then select the Sky Dome light. Now, if I come here in the Arnold menu again and click on Render, I have an interactive render of my scene. And as I'm moving around my viewer, I can have a look to my scene rendered. Next, let's assign a shader to all these objects. I will select the floor shapes, the text, and the mesh repro mesh in the outliner, and then by doing a right click on one of the objects in my scene in the viewer, I will come over here and click on Assign a new material. A new window is popping up and I want to select the Shader tab under the Arnold section. And I will select the AI standard, which is the basic shader you generally use with Arnold. We don't want to do anything complicated here, just a nice, simple and clean render. Okay, it seems that we have a small issue with the mesh repro mesh, aka the gramophones. It's probably just a face normals issue. So easy to fix. Go to the modeling menu, if you're not in there already, and select the mesh repro mesh in the outliner. And then click on mesh display up there, then set to face. This will set the normals according to the orientation of the faces. You shouldn't have any problems anymore, but just to be sure, close and reopen the Arnold Render view and scroll through the timeline to see if everything is okay. And yep, it seems alright. Okay, I won't do much here, but I'd like this shader to be a bit more white. So to access the shader, there is many ways, but the simplest to me is to select one of the objects which have the shader on it, like the floor for instance, and then look for the AI standard tab here in the attributes editor. In there, you will be able to adjust every aspect of the shader, the diffuse, the specular, the reflection, the refraction, and so on. For this course, I will keep the minimum, no spec, just the diffuse, and the color is already white, but I will increase the weight to the maximum. The weight parameter represents the influence of these particular properties of the shader. For example, here by setting up the weight to the maximum, we want the diffuse attributes to be fully used. Okay, this is it for this clip. and in the next clip, I will add a key light to the shot to get a better sense of the light direction. So see you there.